You smell those elk? You smell that? That's what that, you don't smell it?
Smell like deer, or is it so?
It's kind of like a musky smell. You can smell where they've been up here.
What can you tell about that elk antler right there?
That he's probably a 3-year-old, possibly a 4, but just knowing the elk the way we've watched them since the release, the shed that's off of this bull, we know he'll be 3 years old in May. So should be a really pretty bull next year because he'll develop probably more points. It's 5 by now, so next year he'll probably have his 6th point, and really pretty tine length.
Is this the season when they fall with the shed?
Yeah, starting now, and it's April the 9th. So last year we watched them, it was around April the 15th, 16th. So this year they're just a little bit earlier. And talking with a lot of the folks in Kentucky, a lot of their bulls are starting to shed. And not only for folks to tour and see elk, but also to come out and get a look for sheds and find a trophy like this is pretty amazing. You know, one of the guys that helps us with us, one of the volunteers, has found 3 this week. So he's pretty excited. First time he'd ever found a shed, and he's got lucky enough to pick up 3 of them.
How do you, what's the best way to find one?
Usually to get in these open fields and just look for them. A lot of times we'll stand along the road and glass, take our binoculars and just look, or get above the fields and look down on them. And they stand out pretty good, especially if the sun's shining. You'll see a lot of reflection. And then you can see when I picked this one up, kind of the way it was laying, it kind of stands out, you know, almost like a stick in a field or something. So
I think some Virginians are going to be like, what in the world is this?
yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of Virginians wonder, you know, what is this? But also I think you'll find a lot of them to be surprised that we have elk in Virginia. I don't think it's as well known as the ones of us right here that's involved with it know about. But
I mean, that's what I mean by they'll be surprised to see, you know, an antler of this size.
Yeah.
You know, and wonder what the animal is. And how do you feel knowing that this is, I mean, I know there's been a lot, you know, to lead up to this point, but this is kind of the beginning of the, you know, reintroduction of this species to the area that they've always been in.
yeah, and I guess I'm pretty biased to that because I've always, like I said, enjoyed the outdoors, enjoyed hunting and fishing, and just get out and view animals and watch them. And then the passion I have for elk is kind of hard to describe, and to be able to pass that on to folks that live here in Virginia that, you know, may never get to see an elk without the reintroduction project going on. And just thankful for our county administrators and stuff that wanted to see this happen also and made our region a part of it.
You think they're going to be happy in this landscape here?
Well, since the first release was in 2012, and then we had another release last year, and all the animals are staying on about 2,000 acres. And if you get to see some of them, you'll see that they're pretty fat and healthy and happy. So I think, you know, until the population grows to the point that the property can't support them as far as food, then yes, they'll stay.
If we were to rewind time to 500 years ago, and we're, you know, with Native Americans or whoever's inhabiting this area, what would we see?
Well, this would all just be mountainous terrain, you know, and timber, of course. And I'm sure lots of elk and different species then was here in the mountains in Virginia. But, you know, there again, I think just due to the mine reclamation that you see now, all of this property you see with the fields and stuff in it at one time was just mountains and forest and stuff. And now it's grasslands, it's homes, and it's also habitat for wildlife. And we're proud of that, to be a part of this, to be able to put it back and work with it the way we have and work with DGIF to make this project successful.
Do you feel like in a way you're kind of helping make things right, that we, you know, the species has left Virginia for hunting or whatever it's been, you know, that's decimated the population? Do you feel like this is the beginning of making things how nature intended it to be? Or?
I do, and I find that to be growing up, you know, a few years ago, hunting with my dad, we had to travel to different parts of the state to just find deer. We didn't have deer and turkey very much in Southwest Virginia. And thanks to the National Wild Turkey Federation and volunteers, now we have great turkey hunting. We have lots of deer, and now, of course, you know, we'll have elk. So it's just something that I can pass on to folks and my children, and hopefully someday, you know, if they choose, that they'll be able to hunt for elk in Virginia. And it's kind of a dream of mine as well. So.
And last question with regards to this, do you think this is the way things are meant to be? Elk were supposed to be here?
Absolutely. They was once here, and I think they need to be here now.
Perfect. What are your hopes?
I hope to see folks adapt to enjoying the elk that maybe that don't understand the elk or not educated as well on elk as they need to be, and that they'll start to enjoy the animals as much as we do, and get out and, you know, look for sheds, view the animals, pictures, video, whatever they choose to do. But
what are your hopes outside of elk?
Oh, as far as
Just life hopes. Your children,
I hope to be able to live in Virginia and not have to move to work somewhere else the rest of my life. And I hope my sons can stay here too, and my grandson will be able to stay and live in Southwest Virginia and live right here and enjoy what we have to get out here. And as you guys have got to see this afternoon, you know, probably in your mind, if you hadn't been around mine reclamation, it's probably a different opinion of it now than what you might have thought when you first drove up here. And that's what, you know, I guess my hope is to share with folks across not only Virginia but all states, is that, you know, coal mining is not all bad. That you can see the outcome of this and what it's been able to do, that it has great potential.
Would you consider this your backyard?
This is my playground. It is definitely my backyard.
And again, last question, what's your favorite place?
In the state, right here at home, Southwest Virginia, Buchanan County. Yeah, grew up here, plan on dying here.
How'd you say? I said Buchanan.
Yeah, it's Buchanan.
Buchanan.
Yeah,
So,
some folks would say Buchanan, but we call it Buchanan.
Buchanan.
Yeah.
Is this Buchanan for as far as we see out here, or where are we looking?
You can actually see from this, you can see Russell County is just across the big mountain in the back. And then toward the sunset, you're looking into Kentucky. That's Pine Mountain back there you're looking at. And then straight ahead where we're looking is in West Virginia. So.
What about Tennessee?
Tennessee, you can almost see from here. I mean, probably some of the mountainous terrain, but, you know, we're only an hour from the Tennessee line. So.